You want to know the real reason why your career is stuck? It's because nobody likes you. Stick around and I'll tell you more. Hey everybody, it's Brian from Life After Layoff, and today I want to share with you why your career is stuck. And that's right, you heard it on the header. Nobody likes you. But this will be an interesting experiment to see who reacts to this without watching the entire video. So there is a fallacy out there that the best way to get ahead in your career is by being the best at your job. And we're all ingrained with this idea that if we work hard and we pay our dues, that we will one day get noticed for that big promotion. But what ends up happening is too many people go through their career doing what they think they're supposed to be doing, and it only ends up with frustration. The cold hard fact in corporate America is that the most talented, skilled, or even hardworking people are not getting promoted. You may have found yourself in this situation too. How many times have you noticed the senior leader who's lacked common sense, basic skill, and seems to bumble their way up the corporate ladder? You're left scratching your head about how they got into such a position of power with such incompetence. And so it always seems that the person who's getting the promotion is often nowhere near the top of the heap when it comes to technical qualification. But the one and probably the most critical advantage that they have over you is that they are more visible. In other words, they're liked by the decision makers. You're probably not. And being likable in a workplace context isn't just a personality trait. They're not often the friendliest person in the organization, but they have an uncanny ability to always being in the right place at the right time, and therefore having their name being brought up frequently with those in power. So what you actually have is a visibility problem. Simply put, nobody that matters likes you. Now, before your guttural reaction has you racing to the keyboard to type a furiously worded comment about how full of it I am, hear me out. It doesn't mean that you're not a likable person. What it means is that nobody likes you, specifically in the workplace. Key decision makers in organizations will often decide who gets promoted or who's next in line for coveted opportunities by who they like best. And if your name is unknown in your organization, you can all but guarantee that you're not being talked about. At least not in the way that you hope you are. Because the missing ingredient is having visibility to the right people at the right time and in the right places. And the reason why I know that you're probably stuck in your career is because you don't have a network. Look around your organization and take note of who you most closely align yourself with. Who are you spending time at the water cooler with? Who are you grabbing lunch with? Whose desk are you loitering around during breaks or during your walk to the bathroom? And should you choose to be friends with your coworkers, when you go out after hours, who are you hanging out with? The cold reality of it is that the people who are getting promoted have built out effective internal and external networks. In other words, they've played the political game. And that term tends to have such a negative connotation to it, but the reality is it all boils down to who you know. If you're hanging out with people who are not going places, you're going to be known as somebody who's not going places. And alternatively, if you find yourself associating with the people who are in the up and coming group, that's who you're going to be associated with as well. Like it or not, it all boils down to a popularity contest, so try to find the most popular table in the lunchroom to sit at. Because let's face it, you aren't getting anywhere if you don't have key allies pulling for you in the right places. And by key allies, I mean people who are sitting in decision-making capacities today. If your boss's boss has no idea who the hell you are, they don't even know your name, they certainly aren't going to know the value that you bring. And guess who's making those promotional decisions? Oftentimes, it's not even your boss. If you're not known, and I'll take it even a step further to say that you're well regarded at that level, you're gonna have a long way to go before you're ever recognized for that promotional opportunity and start to truly get ahead in your career. Furthermore, I venture to guess that you probably don't have a mentor in a leadership capacity outside of your department who can help you navigate through these waters. Having a key ally who can advocate for you behind closed doors is immensely important to unstick your career. And if nobody a couple layers above you notices who you are, you're not advocating for yourself, it's probably because you're not involved in anything that would get you noticed. If you're somebody that never gets involved in committees or in projects or in other ways to get your name in front of those people, you're essentially invisible to the decision makers in your organization. And you've probably never taken a bona fide risk before in your career. When's the last time that you volunteered for a very visible project that had the possibility of you failing in a very public fashion? The people who take these high risk projects also have high rewards, because if you hit it out of the park in a very visible project, you can almost guarantee that somebody behind the mahogany desk somewhere a couple floors above you is going to take notice. So while you're spending all of your energy trying to acquire the latest skill, certification, or putting in all those hours of overtime, your competition, the one that's about to take your promotion, is working to be more visible to the people that matter. In other words, you have to stop being a wallflower in your organization and start making a name for yourself. Not only will this visibility help you with promotions, it'll also help you potentially stay off of a layoff list. Because as we all know, in the last 3 years, that's a very real possibility. So if you're ready to get unstuck in your career, that's where you really need to focus. Start getting people in your organization to like you, in particular, 2 layers up from where you are today. Because if you have a desire to move up in your career, it's all about how popular you are with the right people. So hopefully that shed some light on why that person was selected for the promotion and you weren't. If you do need help unsticking your career situation, make sure you head over to my website, alifeafterlayoff.com. Appreciate you watching. We'll see you on the next one.